You're muted, Joe.
6 minutes. 6 minutes past the hour. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is the third day of June, and the road show is back on full effect. In the road, on the road, on the road again. All that good stuff. Good morning. I see people in the chat. Good morning. Share this with a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're broadcasting live on Facebook Live, on YouTube Live, and on Instagram Live. It is hashtag Truth Be Told. Yours truly, Joe Dupree, in the building from 100 BLK to Black Station with my girl Jax, the art therapist, the life strategist, the speaker, the author, and brother Fatim. He's on his way. You know, it's been a crazy weekend. We all recovering from the verdict and all the talk from the verdict and all that good stuff. How you doing, Jax? What's going on in Brick City?
Yes, look, I'm gonna keep it real. Sister Jax is tired. Tired. It was a high holy day this weekend. Feast of Pentecost, Feast of First Fruit, and it was just, we had a great time, worshiping, and we were up late, we were out late, everybody was celebrating, kids running around, people performing, and it was 2 days back to back, Friday after the Sabbath, and then last night, Saturday after the Sabbath, and last night as well, as we celebrated the Most High, for the Feast of First Fruits, also known as Feast of Pentecost. So I'm exhausted. We got back super late last night, and I'm like, oh my God, can I get out the bed this morning? But I'm here, y'all. I'm here. I couldn't let my people down, so I'm here. Good morning, everybody.
Hey. Good morning. How the weather's there in Brick City? How's everything looking?
You know what? It's sunny out. It's looks like a little overcast, but I think it's gonna be a really nice week. It's gonna be a really nice week. Yep, I'm excited. On Friday, we'll be traveling to my boarding school for high school, from high school, and it's my 30th reunion. So my husband and my son. 30 years. I know, 30 years. Like, God, dog, 30 years. And it's crazy because my son now, finished school and he's going into the 9th grade, and my daughter just finished school, so she's going in the 12th grade. And I'm like, doggone, I remember when. It feels like just yesterday I was in the 9th and 12th grade. So it's like, how the heck do I have kids old enough to be in the 9th and 12th grade, let alone how the hell is it 30 years since I graduated high school? Like,
time stops for no man or woman. So unfortunately, we better enjoy it while we got it, because you turn around and in a blink of an eye, it's gone. So you have a freshman and a senior in high school. And you're like me. I look back and I say, man, where did all this time go? You know, my youngest is a junior in high school. So, you know, and I'll be soon ushering him off to college. And that means my house will be completely gone. All my children will be gone, grown, and graduated. Yeah. So, you know, I'm getting ready to deal with the first grandchild. So the cycle starts all over again. So good morning, good morning, good morning. We see a lot of folks in the chat. So good morning to everybody in the chat. I'd like to say good morning to Miss Hale, to Mr. Pickens, to Miss Walls, to Miss Baines. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Share this with a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend. If today is your birthday or your anniversary, or you celebrate this to be a day of celebration, we celebrate it with you. So, you know, I can't ring the bell because I'm in the ride and I'm on the road. But happy birthday, happy whatever celebration day this is, be it an anniversary, whatever day that you hold dear to you that the 3rd of June is, hey, celebrate that day.
And look, you said Miss Hale. That's actually my mama in the chat.
That's your mama?
Yeah.
That's your mama. Hey, Mama Hale.
And Dora.
Hey, Mama. Hey, Mama. I done dropped phones and everything. I'm trying to find something. Hold up. What did I done do?
Yeah, so time goes so fast, like you said, like it waits for no one. Even with my uncle at 99, my other aunt at 102 or 3 or whatever. I'm no 102 or 101. I forget after a while. But even for them, they say life went so fast. And I'm like, dang, you've been around 100-something years. And it still went too fast. So that's why we just have to, you know, do what we got to do. Take care of our children. If you are blessed to have children, or if you're blessed to be a role model for somebody else's child or niece, nephew, you know, neighborhood kid, take it seriously. You know, being a parent is a big responsibility. Being a mentor over other children is a huge responsibility. So don't take it lightly. Take it seriously. And, you know, sometimes as parents, we don't always do the right thing. We make mistakes. Sometimes we're not always there. Or, you know, sometimes parents, you know, they're there because the child sometimes is under their roof, but maybe they're just working a whole bunch to try to provide, and they're not able to give the child what they need. So it's kind of like a juggling act. Like, do I work and make a lot of money or enough money to provide for my kids? Or if I don't work and I'm with my kids all the time, how they gonna eat? You know, because if man don't work, eat. So,
that part.
Right? Yeah, so it's
that part.
You know, it's definitely like a juggling act. And that's why it's so important to try to have balance. And I always say, you know, talk to our kids about, you know, about marriage, you know, even at a young age, talk to them about wanting to be married one day, and the balance of being able to raise children when you have your mom and you have the father in the home, because that provides balance. You know, the dad, he can go out, hustle, do what he has to do. The mom can still have some means of income, but that balance of being able to have that mom in, you know, in their life as well. And just, it's just about balance. And some people don't realize it. Everybody's, you know, especially out there nowadays with the culture, just, you know, pocketing it out, you know, sharing a box with everybody and sticking everything. And they don't think about the repercussions. When these kids are born and, you know, say if the dad has to go to work at night, you're in the same household, the dad has to go to work, at least maybe mom might be there to help nurture and guide and love and take care of the kids. And if it's only a one-parent household, it's that much harder. You're not possibly able to give your child everything, you know, that they need, you know, and it's rough. You know, it's rough. I know it's not easy, but we still have to use a better spirit of discernment over our bodies and be careful who we share it with, how we share it, when we share it, and just be prepared for any outcomes that could come, which could lead to being a single parent, you know, and that's not what the original design was. If that's the case, you will be sexual and be able to pump out babies without a partner, but it takes two.
Correct. Yeah. So, you know, and good morning to everybody else who's jumping into the chat, jumping on the feed. We welcome you to hashtag Truth Be Told. See Mashawn in the building. I see Michael in the building. Eddie. I see Miss Rhonda in the building, just to name a few. And we got people logging in from all over. I see Germany just jumped on. I see France jumped on. We got people in South Africa that's logged on. Konnichiwa to all my folk out there in Japan, that's in Okinawa, that's done logged on. So look, it is the 3rd day of June. Summer is up on us. I don't care what you say, the heat has arrived. And if you're outside, hydrate. Make sure that not only do you hydrate, that you use some sunscreen, because even though you're melanated, you don't want to fight the sun, because skin cancer is real. Skin cancer is real and prevalent. And if you're headed to the beach, If you're headed somewhere to enjoy fun in the sun, make sure that you got plenty of sunscreen and make sure that your kids understand how to swim because
Mm.
riptides can come and can cause some havoc. And there's been some shark sightings and some shark alerts on some of these beaches. So make sure that you know what you're doing because it can happen and it can happen quickly. So, with that being said, a lot of folks are probably saying, "Where is Brother Fatim? He
That's
coming?
right.
He
You
coming?
know what, Joe?
He coming?"
It's interesting you say about staying hydrated because even heat stroke and all of that stuff is so real. I remember I was in Florida. My children were in the Junior Olympics, so we were at the ESPN spot in Florida, and it was so hot. We were out there for days and days, and like my body just started shutting down. I remember, I was standing there and I just leaned against the wall and kind of like slid down, like somebody drunk. They lean against the wall and they just slide to the floor, and I was tore up. I damn near passed out from the heat. So make sure, oh, what's up, brother C? So make sure you stay hydrated. Like you said, Joe, with the rip currents and the sandbars and all that kind of stuff, our kids, praying for our kids to be safe. As parents, we must, remain, vigilant, as well and be safe, while we're out there also, even with our own children. So we just got to, practice safety, sunscreen for sure. But it's interesting because I've seen a lot of data lately that's talking about using sunscreen actually can trigger and cause cancer, which is interesting. It has a reaction, with the sun that could then in turn cause cancer. So I definitely want to do some more research. Maybe we can have Dr. Chris back on or someone else share some information about that. I have a friend of mine, she's about your complexion, and she got skin cancer, I believe twice, Joe. And brown skin brothers and sisters, they can get skin cancer as well. And I know for me, I'm a little on the yellow side, but I burn. You know what I'm saying?
She got light bright. You got light bright.
Light bright, damn near. You know what? So like, it's funny because like my chest right up here is burnt up just from Friday, from being outside. So I start looking like a lobster. So I'm like, oh Lord, my slave master got me, and I got that gene. So I say I gotta watch out. So we all gotta protect ourselves out there in that sun. And like you say, stay hydrated because that's real.
Well, we need to say good morning to Brother Fatim from the online open line on WBLS and keeping it real with Val Sharpton. Man, your weekend was popping on every cylinder, man. Every time I turned on, y'all were getting it in. Good morning, my friend. Are you ready for the NBA Finals?
Yeah, good morning, Brother Joe. Good morning, Sister Jax. Yeah, okay, I had a busy morning. Jax, we gotta talk. We gotta talk. No. But just a busy morning. I just took care of Reverend Sharpton rundown, early because I have something to do. So I just wanted to take care of that. But yeah, I heard what you first. Well, I'll come back to that, Joe, about the sunscreen. It's amazing how we grew up in the fields, in the hot sun. And a lot of people, I'm not sitting there saying that they didn't have cancer. My father's side was ravaged with cancer, but they all lived to an olden age. It was the younger. My father was the younger, and his baby brother, they passed in their 60s, but everybody else lived 70, 80s. My grandmother's 80, so they lived a long life. So we was in the sun, and a lot of this science we didn't know, but also the ozone layer was in a better condition back then. We went through a bad period in the 70s, 80s, and the 90s with the ozone layer and trying to get it back now. And I've heard some good stories about that. So there on the NBA final, definitely ready for it. I'm going for Dallas. I like Hardaway. I like Kyrie. Those are my guys that I really like. I applaud Stephen A. Smith because sometimes he can get me to the point that I can just body slam him, but body slam him in a nice way. That's my brother. So he apologized to Kyrie Irving, and he apologized how he verbally attacked him when he was going through what was going through on the Nets, Brooklyn Nets. And I really appreciate him doing that. And it took Kenny Smith. You see him on TNT, and me and Kenny go back to a racist incident in Virginia Beach. So Kenny understands the isms that we as Black folks face. So he got to Stephen A. Smith, and Stephen A. Smith apologized because what Kyrie went through was crazy. And some of the things that Kyrie went through with it not taking the vaccine, that was his choice. And I can see Net fans getting upset, but the way they dragged him through the coals, and for them to go at him about a book that talked about the real Jews that is still being sold on Amazon. He has a right to his opinion. And this brother, he didn't get out there and promote it, but he supported it. And for them to do that and try to belittle him as a man, I stood behind him and stand up on 10 toes for him. And the NBA union finally came to his defense and say, this is harsh. They're talking about, oh, he needs to take some training and watching a Holocaust movie about the Jewish Holocaust. What, you done lost your damn mind? You lost your damn mind? Even when people make racist remarks, we don't tell them to go watch Roots.
Right? Thank you.
You know, so this is, I'm just telling you, this is how they play with us and continue to disrespect us. Joe, you talked about it the other day when we were talking about Beyonce with AMC, and we talk about Kelly Rowland at the Cannes Film Festival. So, you know, it's again, we catch hell. And then, as you mentioned yesterday, we had Sister Pamela Means Esquire. She's the former president of the National Bar Association, and she dropped it. And, you know, I wish my folks, Eddie Bonnet and Douglas Guidry could have seen that. And I put up a clip on my story because like we all say, all the presidents may have issues. But for us to look at the situation with Trump and look at what Biden has done, and we want to look at certain losses with Biden, yeah, he has done things that we were not happy with. But there's a lot of wins in there that helped American people, especially Black people. So I'm tired of playing games. Joy Reid put a clip up today or yesterday, Trump talking about Hillary Clinton back in 2016, that she possibly was going to be indicted on federal charges and that she should not run for president. Oh, ain't that amazing? She may be indicted on felony charges. Your ass, Trump, was not only indicted, you was convicted on all 34 counts. You've had 3 court cases, 3 juries, all found you guilty in all the charges that have been brought up against you. So that's what's happening in my world, Joe. So good morning, folks.
And you know what? It's funny because even exactly what you're saying, when you think about it, like I said, the American dream, when they set up this whole place, they didn't set it up that if you're indicted, convicted, whatever, that you cannot run for president. They said, hell no, you can still run for president because they know their people are crooks. They know it was their people pretty much who are going to be the ones to continue to rule this earth and still run for an office at such a high level. And so they didn't put that in the bylaws when they were creating this country. Oh no, you can still be accused, prosecuted, everything else. But yeah, you can still run, you know, so it's just so fascinating how we start seeing full circle. That's why we got to wake up. We got to open our eyes and read and gain a deeper understanding and see what this show was really about, you know, because they're showing us every single day.
And
go ahead.
And 2 quick things. Trump did a 90-minute interview with Fox and Friends over the weekend. And he says that he expressed, while he is okay with going to jail, he acknowledged it could happen. He believes there could be a breaking point for the public, hinting at potential unrest here in America. It's amazing that he says a lot of these things and a lot of things don't come true. He said that if he got convicted, the stock market would crash. Well, the next day, the stock market went up 500 points. Okay. There's a new poll out, and this is by the ABC News, ISPIS poll. Half of Americans think Trump is guilty. Verdict was correct and should end his campaign. So that's where we at, man. That's what's happening this morning. And
once again, not to be the devil's advocate, but just to be very truthful, I'm out here in America. I'm here like right now. I'm in another state, and the conversation is not equaling up to the sensationalism or the infotainment. So what I want to tell folks is still be vigilant about your voice and your vote, because you may wake up on November 6th because of voter apathy or because of certain philosophies or because of the way certain folks are looking at things. And you may actually wake up with a convicted felon as the next president of the United States of America. That is very possible. So with that being said, you really need to speak on, talk about, get involved with the movement of whoever it is that you're standing behind. If it's Joe Biden, you got to let folks know I'm voting for Biden, and this is why I'm voting for Biden, and make it clear why they should also vote for Biden, because those who are voting for Trump are making it very clear why they are voting for Trump and why you should vote for Trump. So understand, being the
Yep.
Oh, he froze up.
Joe froze.
Yeah,
I want to read it.
Like I always say, like November 6th is coming, whether you do something about it or not. November 6th. Oh, go ahead, Joe. You're back.
Yeah. Well, no, he took himself out.
Okay. Yeah. So November 6th is coming regardless, right? So it's just like when I think about education, I always tell people who are, playing around with, should I go back to school? Should I do this? Should I do that? And I let them know, look, if you decided to go to a trade school, enroll in a certificate program, or to get a license or actual degree, guess what? 1 year, if it takes, or 2 years, it's going to come regardless. So why not be in a different place in those 2 years? If you want to go back to school, even if you start with one class at a time, at least enroll, take that one class at a time. Or whatever you have to do. So when that 2 years is up, potentially you'll be halfway through, you'll be all the way through, and you'll have that license, degree, or certificate. Why waste 2 years and still be standing in the same exact position you were 2 years ago, thinking about, I should have probably gone to school, or maybe one day I will. Just do it. You can't keep playing around with life. Life is coming regardless. Just like some young people say, well, when I get, or people in their 20s might say, well, when I get older, I'm gonna start going back to church. Well, guess what? You're not guaranteed to get older, and, some people think like, oh, I'm not gonna, worship God or believe in God until I get out of this situation, or they're in the midst of chaos. And they think in the midst of chaos that it can be solved and resolved without the Most High. Well, guess what? With him, you can get through that chaos on a different level than you could if you're trying to do it solo dolo, So we really have to think about, and put things into a different perspective. And we got to move differently because, life is real. Life is flying by, and we really have to move differently and not be afraid.
Exactly. Well said. Well said, Jack. So Eddie Bonnet says, stop it with the foolery for teens. Sham trial, and the American people saw it. Don't let it get to you like that, bro. Trump being convicted is helping Black America. How? So first of all, Eddie Bonnet, I'm not going to get all this.
Call it Eddie.
Yeah. So you can continue with your foolery. You can continue with your foolery, and we like a little tantrum that you get, because there's no way that I've known Donald Trump. Reverend Sharpton spoke with the Central Park of now the exonerated 5. What this man has done, he hasn't done a damn thing. You know what? I'm about to say the wrong sugar honey iced tea. He hasn't done a damn thing for Black people. He got the audacity to have a rally in the Bronx and bring two people that are charged with murder. Yeah, this is the kind of person, but he's helping Black people. Man, y'all done lost your mind. But see, I ain't gonna get my blood pressure up because y'all can continue with that bull crap, because it's bull crap and we see through it. We see through it, and that's the bottom line. I just know that, like my sister said, we know that we have issues with Biden, but there have been some wins there that has helped the American people. We looked at how many executive orders this man has done that has helped the American people, from insulin to crime to police brutality. He's done those things. He got certain things with the infrastructure bill going through. These are landmark things that this man has done. And I'm not going to allow you to sell me a bunch of fake goods. We can talk about the problems, but I'm going to balance it now, Sister Jax. I'm going to talk about some of the wins that Biden has done. I can balance it. I can also critique. I have a problem how he handled Israel. I have a problem how they have turned their back on Haiti and Africa, the Congo, Sudan. I have a problem with that, and I can do that. But I can also talk about some of the things that Biden has done that have American people. I'm not just going to talk about the Black community, but I will always include us as well, because we are a big voting bloc, and we need to get some of the things that we request, just like other communities as well. Jewish community, the LGBTQ2T community, all these communities that come in a voting bloc help. Donald Trump hasn't done a damn thing for us, Eddie Bonnet, and he don't plan to do a damn thing for us. You talk about a sham trial. The American people didn't see a sham trial. There's a new poll out today. 50% agree with the damn verdict. So you can be in the other 50%, fine. Don't care no more. Don't give a damn. Because it's about our survival, and it's about us, our future, and it's about our kids' future. So I'm not playing games with some racist jackass. Okay, I'm not playing games with a guy that says there was good people on both sides in that situation in Virginia where a woman lost her life due to racism. You saw those people with the tiki torches out there, but that's who he backs. You understand? He backs police that are charged with police brutality. And you, Eddie Bonnet, want to stand up for that? And you want to stand 10 toes down on what you're talking about praying? I see you online. Such hypocritical to me. I'm calling it out. Don't give a damn how I hurt your feelings now. I can applaud when you do something good, but I damn sure can tear your ass down when you talk foolery. You're talking foolery this morning, brother.
Okay, now. Okay.
After Pamela came on yesterday, I ain't got time for the bull crap no more.
That's
I don't have time for the bull crap no more.
And guess what, Eddie? And Gidra, you guys can go back and watch the show. If you go to the WBLS Open Line online page,
well,
I shared it. Joe?
Yeah, I shared it too. I shared it too. So with that being said, listen, everybody has their right to their opinion. But we've got to start talking about facts. We can have different opinion. We just can't have different facts. And that is what is going on right now in the media cycle in America. People are actually coming up with two different set of facts. And that's where we're all messed up. You can't have it. Can't be black and white at the same time. It can't be. It's either black or it's white. It can't be black and white at the same time. And right now, too many folks are trying to just have too many separate facts instead of having, I understand, separate, different opinions, but you can't have different facts. You know, it is what it is. And we've got to continue to have these conversations. And sometimes these conversations are a little bit complicated. And these conversations do come from your feelings. That's why I say facts, feelings, hearsay. Stick to the facts, stay out your feelings, and don't listen to hearsay. And we've got to understand that it is now incumbent of those who are running for office, President Biden, Kamala Harris. President Trump seems to be, he's going to be the runner for the Republican Party. These people got to make a case of what they're going to do for the American people. And on the other side of it, we have to be real. Whoever wins will also be serving those who did not support that person. So understand, not only what will you do for those who supported you, but what will you do for this country in general? Because there will be a lot of people in this country that did not support you in any shape, form, or fashion, and now you have to govern them. What will you do for all American people, not just those who supported you? Sister Jax.
Can I play something for y'all? Can I play something for y'all? Let me just set this up. Let me play this for y'all because I said something. So anybody talking about I can be passionate, I don't have to be right. Like I said, you're talking out two sides of your mouth. I'm not playing with y'all today. I'm just not. I don't have time for that. This is your guy, Eddie Bonnet.
He shouldn't be allowed to run. Okay, sure. If she were to win this election, it would create an unprecedented constitutional crisis. In that situation, we could very well have a sitting president under felony indictment and ultimately a criminal trial. It would grind government to a halt. She should.
Oh, could be on it because she could become president and could be indicted and can be convicted and would cause a constitutional crisis. Become indicted as the president. Your ass is running, been indicted, and been convicted.
Mm-hmm.
Water that one down, Eddie.
That's right. That's right. Look, it's funny.
That one down. I told you I'm coming with facts, facts, and I'm waiting for y'all to come with facts.
Yeah. Look, we can't steal a candy bar from Dan Walgreens or something like that and get a record and get a job, you know, working at Burger King, you know? So it's just it's just crazy how it works. So we just got to do what we got to do, y'all. We see this country. I mean, so many people want to stand 10 toes down. I love America. America is great, and America, never did us wrong. America did us a whole bunch of wrong, a whole bunch of people wrong, So we got to watch who we siding with and what we truly stand for, and really look at the facts, look at the historical facts, because guess what? Trump and people like Trump, they're running off of history. Their history is what they stand on, and they roll with it all the way till the Lord come back. They're not swaying. They are who they are, and they're not changing. But we're the only ones in the Chitlin circuit still dancing around trying to find, the greatness within, and the greatness is not there.
Chitlin circuit. Circuit. Damn right. They're damn right. Yeah. They soft shoeing. Mm-hmm. They would rather see. I just don't see any benefit. I don't have a problem. It's amazing that, and it's not, it can't be about race because they're two white men there. Yeah. And I'm trying to think of a Republican president that I go back to Ronald Reagan. I go back to Ronald Reagan in his debates. And this was a man that governed and understood government. We could disagree with some of the things, but at least there was conversation. He didn't turn his back on civil rights leaders. Mm-hmm. We look at other Republican presidents that didn't turn their backs on civil rights leaders. George Bush, Daddy Bush and son Bush spoke with Reverend Sharpton, and not elevating Sharpton. I'm just trying to show you that even though they may disagree, Reverend Sharpton went to prison, federal prison for 3 months, 90 days for protesting Vieques under George Bush Jr.
Wow.
That didn't stop for George Bush Jr. to bring Reverend Sharpton in and work with other Republicans dealing with education in the Black community. Mm-hmm. Trump doesn't do that. See, that's what I'm trying to say to you, Eddie Bonnet, Douglas Guidry, and all those out there. You don't have a platform to stand on because you can't see that, we always stand with the Democratic Party. Even though we may be Democrats, we may be independents. What we're trying to say that if there is some conversation, that's why I told Joe, I'm not compromising. I'm not working with Trump. No way in hell, because he's never wanted to work with us. Never. Mm-hmm. And if he did, he wanted to do it his way. He can't even apologize. He can't even apologize for his wrongdoing. Mm-hmm. He can't do that. Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying, you look back at Republican presidents that have been critical of certain things that is done in the Black community, even Reverend Sharpton, but they still work with him. They still had a conversation because they represent a certain constituent in that community. Not just Reverend Sharpton, NAACP, Urban League, and other organizations. Yeah. Donald Trump doesn't do that. So that's why I'm saying I don't have time for your crap this morning and moving forward until we get to election day. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said this to Joe, and I said it again, Joe, ain't no way in hell I would work with Trump because he's never gave us the respect. He deals with us in a sense of he'll put in the rappers, he'll put in the artists. And one of the sisters said that yesterday. It's always been about the rich looking out for the rich. Didn't matter if you were Black or white. So Trump always had a allegiance with the rap community because at the end of the day, he had a status symbol in the financial world at one time, which is crumbling. And the hip hoppers are looking at it. I'm making money. I don't want my money to be taxed. So that's why they went there. So we know how that works. Yeah. But those rappers don't represent us. So I'm just telling you, I'm not dealing with no asshole that is not going to respect us. And I'm not looking for no crumbs that he is not really going to give us, or if he may flick off his table, because he has not come to our community and dealt with our issues and in a serious manner.
But so brother Fatim, hold on, sister. Let me get in before I have to maybe not be on. Okay. Brother Fatim, I fully understand you. Just one word I just don't put inside my vocabulary is because God has proven to me many a times again that that's one word I just don't use a lot. Never. Gotcha. Sorry, I just don't use that word. That's me. That's me. That's not. It has absolutely nothing to do with you. I don't use the word never because just like I have seen individuals do heinous things, I have seen individuals be redeemed from those heinous things that they've done. and been forgiven and come back and been productive citizens and did good things. So I never use the word never. I will say at the present moment, I fully understand why you're saying what you're saying and how you feel the way you feel. But I'm not going to use the word never, nor am I going to say what I will never do.
Gotcha. Hey, go ahead, Sister Jax.
Yeah, so you know what? I know when you say Trump hasn't worked with us, he's worked with us and basically has fulfilled his quota, so to speak, but he hasn't worked with us, right? So being that he is meeting with some of the rappers or, you know, some of the actors or some of the other people in entertainment, he still feels like he's extending an olive branch. He's still doing something to help our community because he helped some of them, right? Which is still us, but it's not us. You understand? And so he doesn't necessarily feel the need to come on, you know, Flatbush Avenue or, you know, Broad Street in North per se, to come to really dig deep, 10 toes down in the community with us. You understand? And that's where your gripe really falls within. But to Trump, he's feeling like, oh no, I got this nigga friend so-and-so and I work with him and I helped his family and, you know, we do some business together and some transactions. So just because they look like us, he feels like he's already fulfilled that. Like, I am working with your community, but he's not really working with us. And I think that's the grave difference. So we really have to kind of look at the broader picture, because like we say, you know, rich stick together, you know, whether you're black, white, whatever, but even the black ones that are wealthy or are rich, guess what? As soon as you get up from that table and excuse yourself to the bathroom, it's just like that trick baby scene. They still gonna be talking about you. And sometimes they'll still talk about you in front of your face and degrade you in such a way sometimes that you laughing and smiling and don't even realize they talking about you. Exactly. You know, so it is what it is. What you looking up? I know you got something.
Because again, Eddie Knight, Douglas Guidry. I don't want to beat up Douglas Guidry. Let me see. This morning, because of the way of Biden running the country, we strive under.
So y'all see me eating my little tangerines. I've been having.
So Eddie, you don't deal with Trump. You won't deal with Trump, but except Joe Biden talking down to black people. See, that's the daggers that they try to throw, but unfortunately, your darts don't stick. Because see, talking down to black people, you want to bring up something way in the past, and then you look at the issues that has been done, the meetings that have been done. I look, and I'm not putting myself on a pedestal. I never got a call from the Trump White House to work with our community. I've been to the Obama White House. I can send Joe the pictures. I've been to the Biden White House. I just said last week, White House called me Wednesday night. We need to take care of something going forward. They want to talk about Tulsa, Oklahoma. When that happened, every anniversary, Tulsa, Oklahoma came through under the Trump administration. Did he mention anything about it? Did he do anything about Dr. King on Dr. King's holiday? See, those are the things. Biden's talking down to black people, but look at the things that black people have benefited through it. See, that's what I'm saying. You can sell that to the people in your little circle. You can't sell that to people who are involved and political savvy. I was nice before. I'm not being nice no more. This is not about opinions. It's about facts now.
Okay, so Brother Fatim, so let me say this. And you're right, because we're in those circles. But understand this, because I talked to a young African-American man who's not like you and I and not in those circles. Talked to a young brother who's making about 75, 80,000 a year. He's 32 years old. Here's what he said. Man, I'm working my tail off and I'm paying for everybody else's way but my own. And he said, I ain't happy about that. So, and I asked him, I said, so who are you supporting in this up and coming presidential election? His exact words to me was, I'm not voting for Biden. I will probably vote for Trump. I said, but Trump doesn't. Here was my words. I said, brother, why can you do that? He said, what Trump has, he said, Trump's rhetoric is the rhetoric that I stand on. Because he said, every once in a while, Trump will say some stuff that really identifies more with me than Biden. And I said, well, explain it to me. And he explained it to me. And here's the sad thing about this, Brother Fatim. We can say what we want to. There is a great deal of black and brown folks out there who don't like Joe Biden, who don't feel that Joe Biden is really doing anything for Black folks. And once again, I think the messaging machine of Joe Biden, which is on Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, which is not on Donald Trump, which is not on you and I. It's not on you and I to promote Joe Biden or Kamala Harris unless they cutting checks. Because guess what? Donald Trump's people are cutting checks to media outlets to promote his message. That's where we need to wake up and realize that we've got to have folks who understand that there is money behind this propaganda machine, and how much of that money is going to Black media. Where's Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's money when it comes down to Black media? So at the end of the day, if they lose this thing, I'm not going to wake up on November the 7th and have people tell me how Black folks didn't show up for Kamala and Joe if they lose. No, sir. What I'm going to say is your messaging should have began a long time ago to say what you're doing for us as a people, period.
So let me just
worry about that.
Let me respond to that, Jax. So during the Trump, I worked at the same job. I didn't get no more different money. Didn't. Under Biden administration, I'm not paying a great more taxes. Matter of fact, in my part-time check, I'm getting more money. So and this brother says he said that it feels like I'm paying more of other people than my way. He would have to come on and explain that. I can't have a conversation on something. He has to explain that to me so I can go there. He says that Trump says more things that resonates with him. Well, the medicine man came into town and said a lot of things to the poor, but ripped their asses off. Okay, so I got an answer for everything today, baby. The medicine man came into our community and ripped our community off and said the things that resonated with our people to fool their people to get what they want. Once they get in office, now they can run the damn train backwards up the damn track now, because now they got what they want and they're not obligated to you. There will be some Black folks.
Ring the bell. Ring the bell. Ring the bell.
I'm ready today, Joe. There's a new fire in town, baby.
Brother Fatim, and I agree with you. But here's what I keep having to ask myself: what do we do to take these shades off our people's eyes that they see what you're saying? See, here's the crazy thing.
Education.
The sad thing is, I tell people constantly, don't watch what they say, watch what they do. The same folks that are telling you we're doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, when you watch what they do, they don't do that. Their talk is good, but their actions is null. So come on, family, wake up.
I'll tell you real quick, and Jax,
you got to read the comments. I can't see them on my side. Something went wrong.
I will read the comments, but I want Jax to get in. But let me just tell you, and like I said, after I get off the show, I'm going to call my brother Antoine because he has the ear. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden need to go around and do town halls. They need to do something like Obama did. You got to create town halls and you got to start speaking to the people, and you got to be authentic. You can't run from the questions. You can't deal with prepared questions. If you're not ready for that, then let Kamala Harris do it. You got to be authentic. You cannot have favorable. You got to deal, just like when Eddie Bonnet said to me, or whoever said it the other day, pick and choose. No, you be sincere. You take these questions. You can't just leave it to debates. You got to start talking to the people. And when you start talking to the people, and don't give them rhetoric, allow the people to ask questions, because when you start to be sincere and go out there, that's how you educate it. Roland Martin, myself, Reverend Sharpton, and other people that have platforms like this, we need to continue to put this message out. No problem with bringing on a Republican to debate a Democrat or whatever, but that's what we have to do to educate the people. I'll start bringing on some of the people that goes into the communities to get people registered, Joe. I'll see if I can get them this week to come on and talk about how their strategies, how they did it before, how they plan to do it now. I'll bring those people. I'll bring other organizations on here to talk about that. You know why I won't reach out to the Republicans? Because they ain't got no platform or program for that for Black folks. You understand what I'm saying?
So Brother Fatim, before I go to Sister Jax, we cannot turn a blind eye to the following. after this verdict went in, the most money that was raised in a minute for the Donald Trump and his campaign was raised.
Okay.
You can't turn a blind eye to that. And this money is just, hold it. And here's why you can't turn a blind eye to it. Because we can't keep sitting here saying to ourselves the following: oh, we got this. He's a convicted felon. Blah blah blah. They're not going to vote for him. They're not going to do this. There is a undercurrent of black and brown folks who are supporting Trump, just like there is an undercurrent of folks who are not black. Oh, hold it. Yeah, but listen, you can diminish it all you can diminish it. Well, here's the question: when you wake up and on November the 6th, they say that Donald Trump is the president, then what you gonna worry about?
I'm just saying that when you make a statement, and you're right. He raised this money. Trump has a base that people have money. He doesn't deal with. You got to realize the reason why a lot of us gravitate towards Biden or the Democratic Party, because they talk more about language. A lot of us don't have money, even though some of us do. I don't want to paint us that we all poverty stricken, because we're not. Exactly. But who talks to the middle class? Who talks to the lower class? Who talks to the poverty stricken people? It's the Democrats. The Trumps don't. The Republicans don't do it. The Republican Party has money. Always had money. Mm-hmm. You understand? So yeah, his base is going to back him. It doesn't matter if he goes up there and shoot the moon out the damn sky. They're going to support him, Joe. So it doesn't faze me. It doesn't faze me, because they're going to do that. The problem is, has he expanded his base?
Okay.
Will he reach the independence, man?
Okay. So once again, I can't see the comments, but I will say the following. And I'm just saying this, and I'm not being devil's advocate. I'm talking facts.
Yes, you are,
right
Joe.
now.
Yes, you are.
Hold it. But I'm talking facts. I'm talking facts.
Yeah.
The team, there are folks who are impoverished that are not black and brown that believe Trump is their savior. So when you say that he's not talking, hold on, listen. When you say that he's not talking to people who are poor, when you're saying that he's not speaking the language of those who don't have, there are plenty of folks out there that are black and brown, and there are folks who are not black and brown who do not have, who believe that Trump is the answer. And that's where we got to wake up, because understand, I'm not convinced that Joe Biden has an easy win in November. And because I'm not convinced that Joe Biden has an easy win in November, that is why I'm saying we've got to start talking about policy and the issues. Because if we don't talk about policy and the issues, and we leave this up to this pie in the sky and who feels is most popular, I have literally heard black men say, I saw some black men yesterday who said, you know what, man, I've been in jail. You know, Trump got a good point. They do be messing over us. That type of indoctrination. Yeah. I looked at my brothers and I said, so now that Trump is convicted, how you think? Yeah, man, well, he did have a point, man. The system do be messing over us. All it takes is the planting of the seed.
That's right.
Wake up. Right. That's what I'm telling my people. Wake up.
That's right. And you know what? I always talk about how there's a scripture that says oppression maketh the wise man mad, and a gift destroys the heart, right? So that is in Ecclesiastes 7:7, I believe. So when, like I always say, like the scripture, it gives you advice in philosophy and stuff like that for the current time now as well, and helps us to better understand what's going on. So I just want to hit you guys with this real quick. It's still Ecclesiastes 7, but I still want us to kind of gain a better understanding when we ask ourselves why, right? So Ecclesiastes 7:3 starts out saying, sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of
which one we doing first?
The heart is made better. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart.
So you send them to me in order?
Okay.
Joe, mute your mic, Joe.
Mute yourself.
Go ahead, Jack.
The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the song of fools. For the crackling of thorns under a pot, so is the laughter of the fool. And you know what the crackling of thorns under a pot sounds like, right? And it says, so is the laughter of the fool. This also is vanity. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools. Say not thou what is cause that the former days were better than these? For thou dost not inquire wisely concerning this. Wisdom is good with an inheritance, and by it there is profit to them that see the sun. For wisdom is a defense, because we always got to be wise and use wisdom. And many times, like you say, Fatin, we're just taking whatever people say and we're running with it. So wisdom is good. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. So I appreciate you, Fatin, in this platform, because we are trying to give wisdom. And like you say, Trump's people, they got the money. You know what I'm saying? So they're using that money as a defense to do whatever the heck they need to do to reap corruption amongst the whole system. You understand? Because it is a corrupt system. But when we have to use wisdom and try to impart wisdom upon our people so that we can move differently and really see what the hell is going on, and not, like I said, be in the chitlin circuit. But
I agree with you, and I totally agree with you. And the way to break that down in scripture, Sister Jax. So when we're speaking on this show, and like I said, I'm glad Joe is presenting facts, but he's still being the devil's advocate, and that's fine, because I'd rather you be a devil's advocate and do it like that. The point is, we're not speaking in absolute. So I understand what Joe is saying. He's not speaking in absolute. But see, now is the time when we say things, it's time to back them up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's go back to the 2020 presidential election. High turnout among low-income voters in the 2020 election, especially in battleground state, helped deliver victories for Joe Biden and the Democrats in the Senate and the House. This was a study done by Walking the Sleeping Giant by the Poor People's Campaign. The organization and advocate for low-income Americans launched a nonpartisan, not Republican, not Democrat, white, black, and everybody else included, voter registration drive ahead of the 2020 vote across 16 states. The reason poor and low-income voters have traditionally participated in elections at lower rates is not because they have no interest in politics, but because politics is not interested in them. It's time to give the facts why poor people don't go out there and vote. It's not that they don't believe in politics. They believe politics don't believe in them. They're the forgotten people. They're not addressed out there. I'm ready today. Throw anything at me. I'm ready, because I'm ready to deal with and not y'all, but I'm glad Joe will doing this, because sometimes when we don't bring on the other side, we can't counter this. So now I'm ready. Let's go, Joe. I'm glad that you did that, my brother. And I just showed you
brother. So brother Fatin, while my mic was muted, I'm actually talking to somebody else, and I'm glad you told me to mute my mic. Because I almost said something that didn't need to go on the airways.
That's right.
But listen to what I'm about to say. Let's say that you got a black man, and a black man says the following: these policies do not help me. They do not help my family. They do not help my business. Even though we talk Joe Biden is not doing anything but hurting my pockets. Inflation is looking crazy to me. I'm not feeling that I'm doing any better. You have black and brown folks out there that are saying that. They're saying they feel like they made better money. Life was better. Things were better for them when Trump was in office than it was when Biden was in office. And guess what? Regardless of what you say, even though you issue out the facts, perception is reality. And most Americans perceive that they were doing better under Trump than they are doing under Biden. And those are just the facts. Now, I don't agree with those facts. But poll after poll, time after time, that is what's being said.
But that's not the facts. That's not the fact. That's not the facts. And the reason why it's not the facts, Joe, because under Trump versus Biden, we had a COVID epidemic. You telling me that we did better under the Trump administration Then under the Biden administration, then here we come the Democrats. They got to clean up the Republicans' mess. We got to clean up Trump's mess. Yeah, we had high inflation. I don't hear people bitching about gas prices today. I don't hear about that. I don't hear them bitching about eggs and milk prices. Yeah, we had some inflation some months back, but we put things, the reserve came in, raised interest rate. Yeah, that hurt me. But it now helped the company. So it has brought interest rates down. They're talking about going in a recession. We're not even talking about a recession now. You understand? But they want to sell us this, Jack, that we did better under the Trump administration. We shut down. Ain't no way in hell. You know how many people that lost their benefits? You know why Medicaid and Medicare had to pick up? A lot of us, I have a medical card. When I say a medical card, I pay certain money on my medical card so I can buy certain things. And it's usually for medicine or stuff like that. They extended that on EBT cards that you could go to the drugstore and get aspirins and this, that, and the other, heating pads. You can get things that you need. Ain't no way in hell we did better under Trump and then went through a COVID pandemic. We never, ever went through nothing like that. Never seen this government in our day and time shut down. And that's not Trump's fault. How he handled it was not very good.
Yeah.
It was horrible. But at the end of the day, it's not his fault because not only the United States, but globally we were affected. But don't try to sell me a bag of goods that we did better under Trump than we did under Biden, because that's a bunch of crap again. We got the lowest unemployment rate now. We got the highest stock market. You come on, stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
What I did hear from people in the community, even entrepreneurs in the community, gig workers in the community, they all did say even at that time that, you know, they felt like it was a come up, because remember those little stimulus checks was coming out back to back. Gig workers, a lot of people in the community that are in the arts and you know, our entrepreneurs and gig workers, they were able to get that. I don't remember if it was like $600 extra or whatever money they were able to get, but they were all talking about in the community at that time that, you know, they were down with Trump because they're like, damn, I'm doing better now getting unemployment and the extra bonus just as a gig worker than I was making.
And who passed that? But who passed that? Why did Trump get the benefit of that? Where it was the House and the Senate that passed this. You understand what I'm saying? Because they're the ones that presented the bill. Trump didn't present this damn bill. The House did. And it was passed by the House and the Senate.
But our community doesn't understand that. They just look at the face of who's there.
Exactly.
And so that's what you're saying, education. You know what I'm saying? Education. And it's interesting. Eddie Bonnet put in the chat, he said, yes, Democrats love poor people, easier to control. So it's, you know, tongue in cheek, but I still get it. You know what I'm saying? And because, I mean, that's the truth.
Whoa, is it the truth? Let's look at it now, Jax. I'm gonna let you finish. But I want let's talk about that. Look at Trump's history. Convicted felon, grab a woman in the private parts, do all these things, and who's more control? Trump says I can go down Madison Avenue, Fifth Avenue in Manhattan and shoot somebody, and I still get elected. Who's the damn puppet and who's the puppeteer? Who's being more control? Oh, it's more about poor people being more control. A lot of the poor people, I just read you statistics. A lot of poor people don't even believe in politics because they don't believe politics believe in them. So that's why they don't vote. So they're not controlled. You see what I'm saying? They're not controlled.
No, I definitely get that aspect of it, like you're saying, but I do also get the aspect of sometimes in poverty, they can tell us anything. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes in poverty, they can tell us anything. We kind of go with it. Even for me, I have even a concern because even during COVID and even to this day, they have all these food pantries in the community, right? And the food that they're giving out, I don't necessarily always trust it. You know, some of the canned goods they're giving out is canned goods I see on a bottom shelf in the back of a dollar store that I'm like, I would never buy that. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what the hell is in that food, but you know, people have to do what they have to do. They have to feed their families. They don't have, you know, money. Sometimes they don't have jobs. Like you have to kind of do what you have to do. But for me, I still don't even trust a lot of the food pantry, you know, items that are given out at these local things in the community because you see it in the urban communities. You don't really see these food pantries at all, obviously, in more affluent communities. So it's like whatever they give us, we're like, okay, we'll line up and we'll take it. You know, it's free and it's helping to feed my family right now. You know what I'm saying? But it's still, they could be giving us the worst of the worst straight from China with all type of stuff that eventually 5 years from now will cause some other medical illnesses within us that now we have to try to fight that battle, down the road as well. So we just got to be careful and not swayed so easily. Like it says, it destroys the heart.
That's right. So let's go back, here. I'm going to go back a little bit here. I'm just going to start here. I'm not picking and choosing, but I'm not going all the way up the line.
Yep.
So let me get some other people in here because, let's see. Trying to get it. Eddie Bonnet wants to call me a radical. Casey says, not surprising. Douglas Guidry said, there's more black than you think supporting Trump. Yep. Fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There are some. We may say up to 20%, maybe black men. We know a lot of black women or not. We know a lot of white women. Well, he's talking about black.
Yeah.
So, you can sell me a bunch of goods. It's just not a large amount that is going to make a dent in this election there. Mashawn Bain said, we got other strategies that can pivot and a candidate full speed ahead. Rhonda Hairston said, my thoughts, education won't cut it for all our people at this point. As the change is occurring, Black people and others that haven't prepared may be left at the station because regardless what others may say, some of us won't believe unless it comes from those that were in control. Eddie Bonnet comes back and says he's not looking to work with Trump. Will set black people back 4 years. T. Williams, good morning to T. Mashawn comes back. Now, if you got the goal, we can make it work, and you just read about Eddie Bonnet's Democrat love poor people easy. So those are some of the comments out there. I mean, there were other comments. Don't think I'm skipping them, but they're way up there. But we appreciate all your comments here, and we appreciate them there. And and again, I am passionate. But I after yesterday's show, I just decided to really start looking at this. And yesterday, I was hard on the Democrats. I was hard on the Biden administration. I was just like, and it's in today's, I don't know if I put it on Reverend Sharpton's rundown, but I talked about how the Democrats now are coming at Biden and saying, yo, what is this soft shoeing you doing? Hit Trump hard. That's what I said yesterday. Because one thing we did give credit to, the Republicans and Trump, they can ride a slogan, lock her up, this, that, and the other. They can ride that. They are great at that, and they are great at hammering that. So that's what I'm saying. Biden comes out, don't take no high road. Go at Trump. He's a convicted felon. Mm-hmm. He's a convicted felon. He's been convicted on bad business principles. He's been convicted on sexual assault. Mm-hmm. And this is somebody that you want to put in the president of the United States. But if they came to work for your damn company, you wouldn't hire them.
Not at all, Fatim. Not at all.
Not at all.
Somebody show up with all those 36,
34 counts,
34
guilty counts.
Exactly. Let somebody show up to your job to work for your business. With all those, and you think you would say, oh yeah, sure, I'll hire you. Not at all. Not at all. But he's about to try to run the whole doggone country.
Yeah. You come to me with that. And I'm not saying that you don't give a person a second chance, because I believe in second chances. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump done failed 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chances. So what the hell? His track record is the same. He right now, as of this weekend, he's still bypass the gag order. If I'm the judge, your ass is going to jail. Next month, you're going to jail, brother. Yeah. Your ass is going to jail. And not because I'm emotionally doing it. I'm doing it because you don't have respect to the law. You think you're above the law. And if I slap your hand now, you're just going to go out there and continue to bash and do the things that you have done. Your ass need to be humbled. Your ass need to be put in a damn orange jumpsuit.
Absolutely.
So family, I'm back, and I've been listening, and I want to say the following. I compare this situation right now to the movie Gladiator. And you got to decide who you think Commodus is, and you got to think who you think Maximus is. And depending on what side you stand on, A lot of folks are seeing Comunus being the current president that's in office, and Maximus is being Trump. And family, you just got to come to the realization. And I agree with you, brother Fatim. I've been listening, and I agree with everything you say. How do we get that messaging out to the people that it resonates with the people, that the people say the better choice to remain president of the United States of America is Joe Biden? Because I'm out here in America. I'm out here in rural America. I'm out here talking to Americans that are not just black and brown. And most of the people I'm talking to, if I did my own personal poll and I talked to 100 people today, my poll is really leaning more toward folks are saying they're going to vote for Trump. Yeah. And I can't understand why. But listening to what folks say with the propaganda machine, they are saying that the propaganda machine has them convinced that he is better for this country than Joe Biden. First of all, I had a black guy yesterday argue me down about how you like Biden with everything that's going on in Gaza. And then I said, you think Trump going to do better? He didn't respond. But they have so much negativity to say when it comes down to Biden and Harris. He brought up Gaza yesterday. He brought up the way his dollar ain't being stretched out yesterday. And I'm like, but the facts are you actually doing better now than you were under Trump. And he was like, I don't feel that way. So once again, it ain't the facts, it's the perception. Yeah, and if the propaganda machine don't put the perception out there that you're dealing with the better candidate, won't be unto us if we wake up on November the 6th and the new president of the United States of America is a convicted felon who is the former president, Donald J. Trump. And we've got to start having these uncomfortable conversations we're having right now, because guess what? Everybody ain't feeling like you feeling, brother Fatim.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. November 6th is going to be here before you know it. We are literally months away. So we got to figure out, do your research, and brother Fatim, yes, that would be great if we could have some other people on. And it's funny. I was able to tune into bits and pieces of the show yesterday, and I heard Pamela say something about, I think she was referring to Trump, obviously, about being the oppressor. She gave some other analogy, but I don't remember the full thing. But she took it all the way back to, the oppressor. And that basically, is what it's about. And of course, Biden is, not of our, ethnicity, culture, background, or anything like that as well. So, it is what it is. We just got to, figure it out and do whatever, we can do is best. But somebody gonna win. We just don't know.
Hold on. I want to do a straw poll right now. Family of the people that we got right now that's inside this chat room, who you voting for? Trump or Biden? Put who you're voting for right now in the chat. Who would you vote for right now at this moment on today? To be exact, I'm going to get a way that we can put up an actual polling system where we can poll folks. But right now, I'm going to do a straw poll. Right now, I know this wasn't planned. This is as organic as it gets. Tell me, who would you vote for right here, right now, if your life depended on it? Are you voting for Trump or are you voting for Biden? Put it in the chat. Put it in there now.
We got KC said Biden. Real Trey said Biden. Jewel Raul said Biden. Let's see. Ravis Martinez, Biden.
Okay.
That's what's
we're doing a straw. I can't see the comments. I'm in a place where I can't see the comments. I apologize for that. I'm on the road show, but listen, family, we want to know how you feel. To be exact, I'm going to do something else that I normally don't do. Yeah, I'm going to open up the phone lines. I'm going to figure out a way to make this happen. If you got something you want to say, it's 12 minutes past the hour. And I see how people are passionate in the chat.
We got some Trump popping up here.
Yeah. So wait. Hold on. So Jax, I need you to go. The last one you said, the fourth person you said was Biden. So here, because I'm keeping track now. So hold on. You remember the last person you said that? So you had Biden, you 1, 2, 3, 4. And now continue from the fourth. Keep going. Go ahead.
Okay. Nakia, she says Biden. Willie Pickens, Biden. Mashawn Baines, Trump. Nolan Thomas, Trump. T. Williams, Biden. Dre Watson, Biden. Okay, that's okay. My mom, Andorra Hale, Biden. Okay. Mashawn, she says Biden, but then she says haven't decided. Joel said roll call. Yep. So that's it right now. Come on, people. We know with some more people in the chat, or we know some people still spying and watching. So click on into the chat.
Right.
We know you're
okay,
watching.
listen.
Our numbers are. And
So-
our numbers
so here's
right now
what-
said 17, but we know our numbers is way higher than 17. Way
Right.
higher.
So look, we appreciate those who are chiming in. We appreciate those who engage. Listen, this is serious business because we are going to show you a microcosm of our listeners and our viewers and our followers. You know, and we say this all the time. Without you, there could not be an us. So we appreciate y'all for being on here and taking out time to comment. Now, we do understand it is a Monday. We do understand it's 14 minutes past the hour. We do understand some of you are at work and are not getting engaged in the chat, and some of you are listening and probably in your head saying either Trump or Biden. But you got to make your mind up, because come November, you're going to have to make a decision. And here's the decisions you're going to have to make. You're going to have to either vote for Trump, Biden, or not vote at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're going to have to do. Those are your three choices. You vote for Trump, Biden, or you don't vote at all. And understand, the latter, not voting at all, is the most devastating out of all the choices. You got to choose a side, and you got to stand 10 toes down on that side. And unfortunately, as I begin to talk in different states and understand how elections work, a lot of you don't even understand civics. Y'all don't understand that we can win the popular vote. We can literally beat Trump with the popular vote, and he still can become president, because all he has to do is win the electoral college. That means there's certain states he has to win in. And if he wins those states, he can lose the popular vote and still be the president. Family, you got to wake up and understand what's in play right now. Your future, your children's future, your grandchildren's future. Right now, some of you are complaining about the high cost of college. Do you not understand that affirmative action was rolled back because of Donald Trump? Come on. Do you not understand that affirmative action was rolled back because of the justices that he put in play on the Supreme Court? Do you not understand, women, right now, you cannot choose what you want to do with your body because of the Supreme Court justices that Donald Trump put in play?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Come on, family. You got to choose a side. Now, okay, let me play devil's advocate. I just had a brother say to me yesterday, but wasn't President Joe Biden, when he was a senator, the architect of a reason a lot of us got locked up? Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Mm-hmm. He was the author of the crime bill. Mm-hmm. He did apologize for that, but I like what an educated brother said to me yesterday that went to jail. He said, even though he did apologize for it, he didn't put any legislations to roll back the wrongs that he did. I said, ooh, that's a good point. At the end of the day, I have this message to the Biden-Harris campaign. You got to start telling Black and brown people what you've done for us, and make it crystal clear what you've done for us, and be out there advocating what you've done for us, and get your surrogates out there to talk about what you've done for us. Because right now, in Black and brown communities, outside of talk shows like this, ain't too many people talking about what you've done for us.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, you're right.
We got to wake up. If you really want to keep that seat and stay where you at, you better start talking to some folks. Because I've been in a campaign.
They are talking to some folks that don't come to things. You got to realize that not only did they talk about, Joe Biden has talked about and apologize for those wrongs. When he was the vice president, first of all, vice presidents don't write legislation. That's number one. And then presidents, but he has put in things that are in place that have benefited Black people as a way of some type of, when I use the word reparations, not the reparations for slavery, but the reparations in the sense of trying to repair some things you can't repair dealing with certain things. You understand? Yeah. He put in certain things with federal law about expunging certain crimes off of people's records. When he addressed Reverend Sharpton's radio show on MLK Day, he talked about the things that he's done, things that he was trying to do, and what things that he were blocked by the Senate, but he lists those things. And Reverend Sharpton's audience was like, a lot of people say that's what you have to continue to do. Then Reverend Sharpton's National Action Convention held annually every year. Mm-hmm. The president came on video screen addressed the black community only and talked about the things that he did, not the things that he wants to do, but the things that he did. So they are doing that. The messaging has to get better, but we got to start getting better and understanding that we need to be part of networks and organizations that filter this information to us as well. It's not going to be put on the damn CNN and MSNBC or the regular local news. You need to join the NAACP. You need to join the National Urban League. You need to join the National Action Network. You understand what I'm saying? Because you need to get this information. You're not part of anything. You're part of a damn job that you go and talk at the damn water cooler. Or you talk with your union, and your union tell you who to vote for. Stop playing games. Stop trying to jerk me off. Because I'm telling you, y'all are full of crap.
So listen to what you just said, Brother Fatim. And here's where we got to wake up. What you just said is where we got to wake up. Here's where the awakening comes in. You're right. Most of us are at jobs where the indoctrination at our job says, don't vote for Biden, vote for Trump. Listen to what you just said. And I want people to understand what you're dealing with. Here's what you've got to ask yourself. Get to your house, sit at your table, hold your significant other's hand, no matter who he or she is, and ask yourself in prayer, are we doing better now than we were back then? And if the answer is yes, then you need to stay with who you're with. If the answer is no, then I understand you're going another way. But understand what I'm saying. You've got to ask yourself the difficult question, because right now the indoctrination and the propaganda machine is saying, listen, I go places and I walked into a Buc-ee's. And if you're down south, you know what a Buc-ee's is. I walked into a Buc-ee's the day that the verdict was given, and I saw people who were non-melanated look me dead in the eye and said, oh, they found him guilty, but I'm still voting for him. See there? You know, and watch this. And I have talked to melanated brothers who were convicted of a crime. One of them who's very educated, this brother got his PhD while he was in jail. And the good doctor said to me, you know, his messaging is pretty strong when he says, see what they did to me? See what this corrupt justice. He said, he gave me some respect. He said, Trump is like a crime boss that's in jail that has really upped his game up. He said, a crime boss in jail will convince you to do all his dirt. You get out, you'll get put in the shoe. You'll get put in isolation for doing his dirt when he's the one who whispered in your ear to do the dirt. Yeah. And you'll never tell on him. That's Trump. That in essence is Trump. Trump right now has folk going, man, you know, Trump got a good point. This is a very corrupt system. The same corrupt system that he used to attack Hunter Biden. The same corrupt system that he used to go after the folks that he didn't like. The same corrupt, it wasn't corrupt when he used it. When I hear Republicans talk about, look at this injustice of the Department of Justice, the DOJ is so messed up. It's the same DOJ that went after Clinton. It's the same DOJ that went after Hillary. It's the same DOJ that went after Hunter Biden. But when you ask them about those individuals, guess what they say? Oh, it's not a corrupt DOJ. Us good Republicans brought to light these improprieties that were happening by the Bidens and by the Clintons. So why can't somebody say, well, ain't this the same improprieties that were brought up by the Trumps and by the individuals who are in the Republican Party who have done wrong? The propaganda machine has you feeling like one person is being wrongly convicted while the other person should have been convicted a long time ago. Wake up, people. Wake up.
Let me just say this, Jack. So don't switch the camera, Joe, please. Because I want to go to Jack's too. So it's cool that you did your poll. And I just told you this ABC News poll. Again, I'm going to go over it again. Nearly half of Americans, 49%, think Trump should end his 2024 presidential campaign following the verdict. This sentiment aligns with findings from an April 2023 ABC News poll, where 48% felt he should suspend his campaign after the indictment. Trump's favorability remains stable at 31%, despite the conviction suggested entrenched supporting among his base, which we said. The poll highlights a stark partisan divide, with 83% of Democrats agreeing with the verdict and 79% believing Trump should end his campaign, compared to only 16% of Republicans on both counts. Now, this is the interesting part right here. Among two parts, among independents, 52% agree with the verdict and think Trump should end his candidacy. Interestingly, among double haters, remember this, double haters who view both Trump and Biden unfavorably, don't like neither one, 65% support the verdict and 67% believe Trump should drop out of the race. So if you want to talk about polls, I don't have no problem you polling people, Joe, but this is a bigger poll, and this is not everybody. Come on. This is a larger poll. This is a larger poll. I agree. So this is what's happening right after the damn verdict.
I agree with that, brother Fatim. And what we need to do, hashtag truth be told, those who listen to this program, those who wrote who they're voting for in the poll, each one needs to teach one. Each one needs to reach one. Each one needs to tell a friend to tell a friend. Because if you're not talking to not only yourself, but those around you and telling them why you chose the person that you put in the feed, then we have nothing but a void of folks that just saying, I ain't gonna tell you who I'm voting for. This is a time that you need to be loud and proud and 10 toes down. Because if not, what you're gonna do is the same thing that just happened last year. You're gonna wake up in November and the guy that in the polls that said was gonna win doesn't win because of apathy and because of folks saying, oh, he got it. He don't need me. He good. Wake up, family. Wake up. I know the end results of those things. I know how I suffered for a small amount of time under political persecution, not because I was with the guy, because I worked for the guy. Because he'll tell you straight up, there's many a times I questioned what he did and was very straight up and honest with him and said, man, that doesn't work for me or my people, especially since you got me as the chief of minority affairs. Let me tell you, that doesn't work for black folks. Now, I did it respectfully behind closed doors, but there was times he will tell you, I challenged him. Hey, man, wait a minute. That doesn't work for us. Understand, elections have consequences. Roe v. Wade, affirmative action, just to name a few. While y'all over here talking about stimulus checks and a temporary Band-Aid to a literally triage open wound, I'm talking about stuff that will resonate for decades, if not centuries. Do you not understand? A woman right now does not have a right to do what she wants to do with her body. Her body is not her own body now. Now, just imagine had they did that reverse and said, okay, men, we're going to do that with your body. You can't do certain things with your body unless we legislate it, unless we say it needs to happen. How would men be acting right now? And do understand, this legislation that is put forth to govern us is we're mostly being governed and under governance that if you look at the majority of the people who make the laws, they don't look like you and I.
Exactly.
They're not women. They're not black men. They're white Caucasian men, mostly in their 50s and 60s, who are saying this is the laws that govern you while you live in this land. And I wanted to talk to you about something, Brother Fatim, and this is going to come across ugly, and I don't want you to get mad at me, but I thought about something. Yes, I am an American. Unfortunately, there are some white Americans who founded this country, all wrong. I didn't ask God to be born in this country, be born in this nation, or to be born where I was born or how I was born, but I'm here. And I've got to start calling folks out for who they are. There are some folks that don't look like me that are completely wrong. They have been wrong from the beginning, and some of them are wrong today. That doesn't change who I am. I am a Black American, a proud Black American, who have been many a times messed over by many people who don't look like me, and some who do look like me. At the end of the day, it doesn't change who I am or what I stand for or how I've been moving. I have proudly served this country for many years of my life. I have been wounded in combat 4 times. I didn't do that for you to pat me on my back. I did that because I love my family. You, Brother Fatim, Sister Jax are a part of my family. and everybody who lives in this country is a part of my family, because I would give my life willingly to make sure that you keep living the way you live it. And for that, you need to start showing some love to those who honorably serve and serve this country with honor and dignity. And for those who haven't, or for those who put on a uniform and did something wrong and did what they shouldn't have did, and all of a sudden now you don't trust them, don't trust that person. The uniform is honorable. The person may be corrupt and bad. Put the charges on the individual that it should be put on, not on the uniform or the person, because that's why I get mad when white folks say, you're just not like most black folks. Well, what? Wait a minute. What you mean I'm not like most black folks? What experience did you have that you all of a sudden put a label on all black folks? I'm just saying.
Mr. Jax?
Yeah, you know what? Thank you so much for saying that. And thank you so much for your service, Joe. And thanks to everyone else that served in the military, reserves, or whatever capacity. We truly thank you. And we appreciate you, because that is some sincere dedication that even to this day, you would still be willing to give your life to, fight for, those of your country. So we definitely salute you, honor you, and appreciate you. So when I think back to Trump, it reminds me of somebody that's suffering from narcissistic personality disorder, right? So when somebody has a narcissistic personality disorder, they're kind of like how Trump is. He'll throw the rock, but try to hide his hands, right? So he'll always try to act like it's not me. He'll always have play the victim, mind game with people. He'll try to, he just has this sense of excessive importance. He wants everyone to feel like he's so, excessively important. And, like I said, he'll play the victim and the whole woe is me thing, like, oh no, look what they did to me. He threw the rock, busted somebody's window out. It says, oh no, I don't know why they're treating me like this. I didn't do it, but he still got a pocket full of rocks, So we have to understand the mindset. And also a lot of wealthy people. You have poor people that could still, suffer with narcissistic personality disorder. It covers a whole spectrum, but especially people with a great deal of wealth and trauma definitely exhibit, signs of personality, narcissistic personality disorder. So Trump definitely, struggles with that visibly, you can see, or I should also say allegedly, because we don't need ourselves in any trouble. But I mean, it is what it is. So it can help you to better understand. And if you guys Google it and find more information about, NPD, you can gain a better understanding, even into yourself. Because a lot of us in time struggle with a narcissistic personality traits and disorder. But Trump, for sure, you could tell, is dealing with that, how he ran his presidency, how he's handling this current, election. So we just got to, look out, be aware, and do exactly what you guys are saying. Use wisdom, get out and vote if that's what you want to do, but still understand that even if you don't vote, it still speaks volumes, So
that part, Brother Fatin.
I'm just listening, man. I've been running the gamut, man. So I just
and listen, and Brother Fatim, it's 31 minutes past the hour, and I've got all the respect, the love, and the honor that I want to give to you, because you stand 10 toes down. And understand, once again, I say this again, and I want everybody to really think about this. Had President Barack Obama did to 5 Caucasian white men what Donald Trump did to now the exonerated 5, come on, family. Yeah. Y'all be like, oh my God, how horrible of a person could do such a thing. And then had the audacity that when their innocence is proven, to say, oh hell, they did something. Them white boys did something. They did something.
And family. And that's part of the narcissistic personality disorder as well. They lack empathy. They lack understanding. There's no sort of sympathy. It's still, go ahead, Joe.
Douglas Guidry and my good friend Eddie Barnett had President Barack Obama been accused of paying a sex worker for sex, what would y'all be saying right now? Hold it. I saw the rumors about Michelle Obama's not even a woman, which appalls me, which makes me sick to my stomach to see somebody crucify a beautiful black woman like that. But I'm really curious. What would y'all have done if all of a sudden, oh, we have allegations that President Barack Obama, whoever the big time porn star was, paid a big time porn star to hush her mouth because they had an affair. What would y'all be saying now? Talk to me. Y'all want to talk? Talk to me.
Yeah. And you know what? Just because you are still convicted of something, we have a lot of people, in our community, in our family, or maybe even us that have been convicted of things before, that we still are entitled to have a job and have a voice and to vote and all that kind of stuff, right? But it's still levels to it. It's definitely levels to it. You have a lot of people who have been incarcerated. You have some of the greatest, civil rights leaders who have had, charges before that still have been able to turn their lives around, or even caught charges while they're, in office or whatever. But like I said, when we look at Trump and how he really goes about doing things, it's more so when you have to look at the content of somebody's character. Right. And the content of his character, and none of us are perfect. We all have flaws. We all fall short. We all are jacked up in some way, shape, or form, no matter how we want to present. We still all have issues that we're, going through. But when you just try to drag a people in a group of people and tear them down, but play on their emotions, and using conniving tactics to try to, overtake, the world essentially, because, the US, Joe, they have military bases in damn near every country, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. I don't know if it's 800 something, whatever, but military bases everywhere. You have in parts of Africa where the Africans cannot even dig underneath the ground to get what is on their land because the United States owns the damn land. You understand what I'm saying? So it's crazy. So we have to, this is such a larger picture that we are totally not understanding. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, well, let me say that. I got to respond to Jack.
Come on in, Brother Fatih.
So the difference, what Jack said is true, that there have people that have been convicted of a crime, went to jail and paid their debt to society. And that's fine. And if you know anything about that, you have to go before a parole board and admit and talk about, are you sorry? Are you really sorry about this? Mm-hmm. Donald Trump has been convicted. So we got to see if he's sentenced. He got to pay his debt to society. Mm-hmm. He has to pay his debt to society. And then when he pays his debt to society and really shows that he's humbly, then I can see other people giving him a chance. The problem is that this political field or arena we're in is not a political party now. It's become a cult party. I'm not throwing names out there. It's a cult party. And when a cult party means that the leader can hardly do no wrong, you elevate him to God-like status. Mm-hmm. And when you elevate a person to God-like status, you will delude yourself in every way possible to not to see the wrongdoings that they are doing until you drink the damn Kool-Aid and then you're grabbing your damn throat because you done basically only got a few minutes left to live.
That's right.
Brother Fatim, you have said a mouthful. And on the other side of that equation, we have to be ready to accept whatever the punishment is and say, and we can't sit there and say, because I'm not a judge. I'm not a judge. I haven't went and got my Juris Doctorate. I haven't went and got elected a judge or appointed a judge. I'm not a judge. So if the judge comes back and says, you know what, with the crime and him first time being convicted of this crime, I'm going to charge him $1.5 million in retribution for this crime. We can't jump up and say, oh my God, they didn't give him no jail time. No, we have to accept, just like we accepted the verdict, we got to accept whatever the punishment is. And once he does either appeal, pay the retribution, or do whatever, we've got to do just like we say that happens in our community when our Black and brown brothers and sisters get convicted, go to jail and pay their time. Hey, they did their time. I can't talk about that crime. That crime done. You did what you did and it's done. Unless you do it again, hey, all I can say is you paid you did the crime, you did the time. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
See,
go ahead, Joe.
And that's where we separate ourselves from them. Mm-hmm. They're not going to do that. Mm-hmm. But I ain't trying to be like them because I ain't them. I ain't them other folks. I ain't them non-melanated folks who carry an elephant around and say that I'm part of this party or I'm a Tea Partyist or whatever. I'm not them folks. I'm just not them folks. Hopefully Jackson come back. But I'm not them folks. And because I'm not them, I can proudly say I stand 10 toes down on everything I believe because I believe one day I have to stand before my creator, my God, and have an accountance for everything that I've done, good, bad, and ugly. Because everything I've done hasn't been good. Everything I've done hasn't been great. I have done my share of wrong and bad. And I pray that I have gotten forgiveness for it and able to move forward. Brother Fatim.
So I just want to do a couple quick mentions real quick. We don't have to change the topic, but I just want to do a couple of quick mentions. I don't want us to go toward the end of the show to make these mentions because I was a little late this morning and I probably would have mentioned this at the top. So former First Lady Michelle Obama's mother, Marion Robinson, passed away this Friday. She was 86 years old. They said that she passed peacefully in the morning in her sleep. Marion Robinson, became known to Americans as the country's first grandmother. After her son-in-law, Barack Obama, won the 2008 presidential election, she was a fixture in the White House during his 8 years in office. Though she kept a low profile, she attended holiday events, the occasional overseas trips, and concerts in the East Wing, but most often she was with her granddaughters, Sasha and Malaya. So we want to send our condolences and prayers out to the Robinson and Obama family as they are in bereavement. I also want to say U.S. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee, Democrat from Texas, has announced her diagnosis with pancreatic cancer. In a statement, the 74-year-old Congresswoman shared she is undergoing treatment for the disease that affected tens of thousands of Americans annually. She acknowledged that this might lead to occasionally missing legislative votes, but remains committed to working with House Speaker Mike Johnson and Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries on essential legislation. Jackson Lee, and remember, John Conyers was the one that presented the reparation bill. Well, Representative Sheila Jackson Lee has picked up from the late John Conyers in the sense of trying to push reparation legislation over on a federal level. But if we don't have the House and the Senate, that's not going to happen. Her diagnosis of pancreatic cancer highlights the higher incidence of pancreatic cancer among non-Hispanic Black people, as noted by the National Cancer Institute. Pancreatic cancer is the 10th most common form of the disease, affecting 1.7% of people in their lifetime, with the average age of diagnosis being 70. So I want to put that out. And one more story real quick, because this broke Friday. The Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office announced the firing of Deputy Eddie Duran following an internal investigation into the fatal shooting of Black Airman Roger Fortson. This is the first time Duran's identity has been disclosed. The investigation concluded that Duran's use of deadly force was not objectively reasonable and violated agency policy. A separate criminal investigation by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement is ongoing. Attorney Ben Crump, representing Fortson's family, expressed that the firing of Deputy Duran is a positive step, but insufficient. Crump went on to say the actions of this deputy was not just negligent. I always mess up that word.
Negligent.
There you go. Negligent. Got it there. I got it. Negligent.
We got your back, brother.
Negligent. I got it. Negligent. They were criminal. He anticipates criminal charges against Duran, asserting that the video footage clearly shows this was a brutal and senseless killing. Crump and Fortson's family believe law enforcement responded to the wrong apartment, as Fortson was alone on the phone with his girlfriend and no disturbance was occurring in his apartment. Seems like a neighbor called and said that they heard a woman screaming like she was being attacked or in an argument, but did not know the apartment. She kind of led the police to Fortson's apartment, pointing that way. And this deputy went on his own to that apartment, and that's what led to the situation with Fortson being killed. And the body cam showed that Fortson opened his apartment door. He had his firearm, a legal firearm. His hand was in a pointed down position. Despite this, Duran fired 5 shots, resulting in Fortson's death. The internal investigation found that Fortson did not point the gun at Duran, contradicting the deputy's claim that Fortson's arm was slightly canted, and also he did not say drop the gun until after he fired the 5 shots.
Mm.
All right,
and we need to hold folk like that accountable. If you break the law, regardless if you have a uniform on or not, breaking the law is breaking the law, and you should be held accountable to the letter of the law. Period.
Mm-hmm.
And sadly, that this young man who was honorably serving this country is no longer with us. It's sad. It's sad. But once again, we can't sit here and talk badly about folks and talk this, that, these, and those about folks, be it a Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, and not say, hey, there are times like this that there has been wrongdoing by police officers, and these police officers need to be held accountable to the same letter of the law that they uphold. Period. Those are the facts.
That's right. And my husband, when he does a lot of these workshops as a police officer, he, especially talking to the young kids, he always talks to them and tells them being a police officer is no joke. And once you become a police officer in some form of law enforcement, you are that much closer to being a criminal than you are, just being a regular citizen. Because there's, you're held to a higher standard. You do the wrong thing. You're just trying to do your job. You do something, out of line, or breaking the law, essentially. You then too could become, a criminal or arrested or, be charged and stuff like that. So it's definitely not an easy job being in law enforcement for sure. But we still, as citizens, we still need to know our rights and understand when you get pulled over, when you're, walking down the street, whatever, if you're approached, what are the things that we can say legally? Because, my husband says all the time, police, they're allowed to lie. They're allowed to lie, to trip you up, trick you up, whatever they have to do to get to the bottom of something. And we see that on TV all the time. And, the First 48 and all those TV shows when they're in the interrogation room trying to trick people up and getting them to say or rat on one another. So we still have to always know our right to know when to speak, when not to speak, what to say, what not to say, and just straight up like knowing our rights. So we have to do research. We have to gain understanding. We have to look in the community and see what workshops are available, what trainings are available. Even with self-defense, we need to learn how to defend ourselves physically, because guess what? When some of this stuff, even when Trump gets crazy, we might be out there as a Black person or person of color and have to know how to defend ourselves if we are approached. Imagine, especially in the South, Fatin, you have a lot of, hillbillies or, whoever else out there that, like straight up Trump, I'm voting for Trump, nigger. You know what I'm saying?
CB's country, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's sad, but we still have to know how to, if you're legally allowed to carry, you best to carry, and if you can't carry a firearm, you better learn how to knuckle up or do what you got to do to still protect yourself, because we want you to live. We want you to live healthy and happy and safe. It just, make it to another day.
Yeah, preparedness is a mindset. Preparedness is a mindset. It's not only a mindset, it's putting it forth. I want to go to Rhonda Hairston comment. She said she's talking about Donald Trump, will probably appeal to the New York State Appeals Court. If it comes to that. He will use every avenue to his benefit. I wish I can control these controls right now. I want to put the 3 judges that are in the New York State Appellate Court.
Okay.
3 African American sisters. Okay, Trump. Okay, Trump. Yes.
Right.
Boy, karma is a bee.
Yep.
It's coming back. You got to go through 3 African American appellate judges
God, dog.
that stand on principle.
Mm-hmm.
And this judge ran this, so honestly, you appeal that we're gonna appeal it all the way up to the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, it's not the problem you can appeal it all the way up to the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is was there was anything wrong? See, they can't appeal the verdict. It's not about the verdict. It's about, was he given a chance of a fair trial? They brought up the charges. They presented the charges. Got the jury, and let's talk about the jury. They kept saying on these cable shows that, there was going to be a hung jury, this, that, and the other, and it was proved out of the jury makeup. These were intelligent folks that had ran businesses with doctors, lawyers. We had some real good, strong people. They didn't take a long time to come to this because the evidence was so prevalent in there. So when Eddie started off the show, this was a sham trial. No, brother, it was not a sham trial. This man, wait till he gets to Georgia. Oh, God, we heard it on the phone. We heard it on the recording. I want to see how y'all stand behind that. Yeah. I just need 11,600 votes. That's Donald Trump. Yeah. Wait till he gets to Georgia.
Exactly.
Georgia. You know how Ray Charles, Georgia? Singing it on the mind, boy. I'm telling you. Yep. This crony crook ass needs to be put under the jail. He won't be put under the jail, but he needs to go to jail.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy, Fatin? Like sometimes if the evidence is presented in a certain kind of way, it's like, well, maybe not. But to be charged of everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, well, he was, found guilty on, 18, but the other, whatever, were not, found not guilty or whatever. Like to be convicted of all of them, like that just is overwhelming evidence to show you like, nah, there's no ambivalence. There's no maybe not. It's like, no, this Joker did XYZ,
He wrote this as a cover up. It's plain and simple. He did this and brought it in to the point that he did not want this to get out because he felt that it would affect his 2016 election.
Yeah.
And that's what he thought, and he couldn't
on you, right? Yep. For one of your homeboys, basically, to completely turn on you and rat you out off of, like everything. And it's so many more people that stuff is still going to come out. This is not over. I mean, and if he gets in office, it's still going to be other things that are still going to come out. Like this story is not going to go away. And it's kind of like the classic thing, like you made your bed, now lie in it. It's just going to keep on scaffolding. It's not going to disappear because now we're in the age of people are finally ready to just say, you know what? I don't give a damn. I'm telling the truth. I'm tired of being victimized, taken advantage of, lied to, or I'm tired of being part of this corrupt type of system. I know there have been situations with me, even personally, in jobs in the past where I see they're doing like corrupt stuff. Jax is out. I'm like, you know what? Y'all can kick rocks. I am out of here. I was at a place one time. I was a chief of staff at an organization, and the executive director, wanted us to bring in our personal receipts from stuff that we buy at home for our family and, whatever, bring in our personal receipts so that they can offset some of the funds that they were tricking out. And I was like, hell no, like I am not being a part of this process, So you have to have integrity and be willing to walk away no matter what. I worked on Fifth Avenue for a major designer who designed evening gowns for Eva Longoria and Beyonce and all that stuff. I walked away from the job when that lady in the dressing room tried to look at me and talk to me crazy like I was a NIGG $, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh no, because I have integrity and I'm not going to tolerate the nonsense, and I will walk because I know who I walk with. And when I walk with the Most High, and that's why I take my faith so seriously, because I know when I'm walking with the Most High, he's going to cover me and have my back, whether it looks like it's something to my advantage or whether it's something that sets me back for a minute. I still know that God's got me because I'm doing the right thing, even if the outcome is not what I want. You know what I'm saying? I know it's part of his design, right? But the moments in my life where I veered off and was doing things not on point or the right way, you got to be ready for that chastening because it's going to come. So you just got to figure out what side of the fence you want to be on. You're going to double dutch it or you're going to just walk straight now. Yeah.
I remember when I was got active with the United African Movement in New York, which led me, working at that time, because I don't work for Reverend Sharpton now. I work with him. Mm-hmm. I remember working at Macy's, and there was a brother and a sister. I met the sister when we was going through our drug tests. And I knew the brother from high school, and they both were street people, but that didn't, street people. You got white collar crime. They hold high positions and they do white collar crime. So we all worked at Macy's. So he felt because, I'm a brother that he can talk to, and I'm security. He said, yo, man, these goods, we gonna throw it out the window, man. And this, that, and other. I said, listen, bro, I ain't telling you what and what not to do. Mm-hmm. Don't do it on my watch. If I'm on security at that damn door, I'm not going down with you.
That's right.
I'm not going down with you. And for me, and like you talk about knuckling up, I don't know what I could have done. Mm-hmm. But the bottom line is, in Sister Jax, it comes like this. I had back from the streets. And I was like, dude, don't involve me in this. You done told me. So wait till I move off the door or whatever, because I'm not going down for you. I'm not part of this. I don't want piece of it. and don't do that, because I don't want no part of this. I mean, I'm not even with, I haven't even started a family. I haven't even met Hanifa, but I don't want no parts of this because I know how it can go. You understand? I've been there before, which I mentioned years ago when I was in college. Somebody broke in the candy machine. I happened to be there. They bring me in, the president, which I showed the picture to Joe to put up. I didn't do it. You got the people that did it.
Right, come on.
And then the guy tried to trick me, the president of the campus. Well, they said you was there. Yeah, I was there. Somebody said you stole candy. I didn't steal no candy. You telling me you didn't steal candy? I don't eat candy like that. I don't.
Wow.
But it's my word against theirs. So I went back to the guy that got busted, that did it, and I said, yo, bro, you better tell the story straight. Dude, fine. That's when I got on the phone and called my cousin. Y'all may have to take a ride up to Farmingdale. Y'all may have to take a ride up to Farmingdale. And, you know, and I had to stand, and, you know, and I look back and, you know, hindsight is 20/20, and it's not the right way to deal with things, but that's what I knew. And I did it the right way. I didn't break in anything. I didn't do it. I wasn't a snitch. I was there. I told my part. I was there. You knew who was there because you got them there. I didn't do anything. So that guy went back because I told him straight up, it's either you to tell the truth or I'm going to deal with it. And he finally told the truth because I'm not going down with your shenanigans. I'm just not. Don't bring me into your crap.
That's right.
I don't want to know about this illegal thing. Don't get in my car. You get in my car. Don't say, man, because I had a talk with my cousin years ago. I said, yo, man, you got any weed on you? Why you then my cousin, his mother said, why are you interrogating my son? Let me tell you why I'm interrogating your son. Because if we get stopped, all of us are going.
That's right.
And I'm not going for him. I ain't going for you. And if you don't like it, then don't ride.
That's right. That's right.
Don't ride.
And you know, Fatim, those are conversations that as parents and caregivers that need to be had with their children right now, or even with their nieces, nephews, other kids in the community. With all these kids graduating and potentially moving off to college or just getting their license and, you know, friends in the car and stuff, many times parents aren't having those conversations. They just think maybe the kids realize it already. But remember, the frontal cortex is, the cerebral cortex is not even fully developed, you know, until they're much older. So right now, these kids are still making some poor decisions and they need the guidance of us to let them know, look, watch you have in the car, ask questions. Don't be afraid. If they get an attitude with you, be like, nah, it's all right. We just going up the block. But guess what? Up the block is where most accidents happen. You know, you're up the block from your house. And before you know it, you're in an accident. You know, you're up the block from your house and the cops already saw so-and-so get in your car. Or maybe they didn't even see them get in your car. But you have to be careful and use wisdom and the spirit of discernment when you're rocking out with other people, because everybody doesn't have the same goals, agenda, focus, or mindset as you. So you got to, you know, thank you for sharing that, Fatim, because that's important. That's a good lesson right there.
Great share, Brother Fatim. At the end of the day, listen, family, you got to always pay attention to your surroundings. That's what we don't do enough of. Not only do you have to pay attention to your surroundings, we need to be our brothers and our sisters' keeper. If you know that something's not looking right, tell your brother or sister, especially if they with you. Don't just leave them there. Say, hey, we need to go. This isn't where we need to be. And we need to do this more often. Too many times I see us leaving us in bad situations where all we had to do was say, come on. And if you decide not to come on, you can't say I didn't tell you to come on.
That's right.
Come on, family. We got to do better. We just got to do. And I don't say that cliche-ish. We got to do better. Many of these things that we have that are tragedies that befall us in our communities are preventable. We've got to be the agents of prevention. We've got to be proactive and not reactive. When it comes down to educating our folks, we got to stop waiting for the great white hope to come into our community and save us. We have what it takes to save us ourselves.
That's right.
Or the great black hope, because we have a problem of putting all our eggs in one basket and with one leader, and once they kill that head, the body dies. Look at NAFAT. And again, I can't sit there and say they have died, but their message has dissipated amongst the masses. You understand? Once they took our brother down, You understand? The masses, not taken away, because if any NAFAC folks are watching this, I'm just saying that what he was doing, he was also challenging civil rights organizations. In a sense, he was challenging the establishment, especially this racist establishment, to say there's another way to deal with your mess out here. And it ain't always singing and grabbing arms and saying everything is going to be peaceful. And I thought that was interesting. And they always have a way to nullify us on that. So we have to be very careful how we put our eggs. We got to raise leaders, not followers.
You're right.
And a lot of us, we can't raise leaders because we're not leaders.
That's right.
How do you raise a leader and you're not a damn leader?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Fatina, and that is so true. We have to raise leaders, and most importantly, we have to live by example. Because every great leader needs to know how to follow as well and be capable of being led and submitting to an authority and still follow in some capacity. Oh, yeah. But you also have to learn how to lead. And too often, people are seeking friendship, they're seeking validation, they're seeking a hookup, but they don't realize that while you're seeking all of that, sometimes you can forego your freedom, right? You can forego your freedom just for that friendship, that hookup, that relationship, whatever. So you have to just really, like I always say, use wisdom. That is the theme of my life and my key word for any workshop I talk, or any audience I speak to. It's all about using wisdom, because the wisdom is priceless. And we've gotten so many people have gotten killed, have ended up in prison, whether on the other side of the gun or a victim, thereof. Car accidents from drinking and driving, getting high, thinking that when you're, 55, 60 years old, you could still sniff the same amount of dope that you were sniffing when you was 20 years old. And now you blow your damn heart apart and now you're dead because you're overdosed, right? They think smoking, certain drugs and, that you can, do when you're younger is the same as when you're older. But as you get older, your body cannot metabolize it like it used to. Right? So it's going to shut you down even faster. They don't realize that the drugs and stuff that are out there now are laced with so many other chemicals, formaldehyde, fentanyl, crushed bones, human bones, and a whole bunch of other stuff that will take your little butt out of here. So we really just have to use wisdom and just stay focused. And just, this life is not, a race, it's a marathon. You have to really, work hard at it, and just, if you fall to the side, just get back on course and keep on going straight. Don't let your trauma and your drama delay you from what you're trying to get to, because you will be all right.
Another great show. It is top of the hour. 2 hours have went by quickly. Yeah. The road show is in full effect, but we'll be back in studio tomorrow. We have a guest coming on Wednesday. We're going to talk about literacy, reading, books, Black book clubs. We got a great guest coming on Wednesday, Sean P. with the Sean P. Experience. And we just going to continue giving it to you just the way you like it. Before we go, I do want to tell you that we, the triangle you see right here, will be at the 2024 Essence Music Festival of Culture. We will be broadcasting live on Thursday, Friday, and the Monday after the 4th of July weekend. So we'll be in New Orleans. We'll be in front of all the stars, all the people who are the movers and the shakers in the Black community. Of course, we'll be talking politics, culture, sports, and everything else. We'll also be in the streets doing pop-up interviews. So keep it locked into our social medias, mine, Brother Fatim, Sister Jax. If she winds up making it, we'll be all over the place. So tell a friend to tell a friend, share this with a friend. We broadcast live on Facebook Live, on YouTube Live, and on Instagram. And let me throw this up before I get some closing comments so you will know, especially here. If you want to go see any of our prior episodes, see some of the wonderful guests we had on, the Dr. Purnells, the Redmans, the great folks that we've had on, the politicians, the subject matter experts in law enforcement, medicine, in cultural events. Man, tell a friend to tell a friend. I see Jax disappeared for a minute. Let me remove her before I bring her back to give closing words. Go to on YouTube. We are at 100 BLK Media. And now let me bring Jax back. Jax,
yes.
It's 2 minutes after. Let's get some closing comments. Let's go.
Yes, closing comments. Sorry for the dip off for 1 second. My other daughter, my baby, the one y'all met Favor before, right? So, well, hold on. Let her come on the screen real quick before we close. Come here, you look so pretty. Yeah, so Favor just graduated, like I was sharing with you guys.
Hey.
Yeah, she just graduated with her master's degree. Tell me about it real quick, Taylor. Go ahead,
Scoot
boy.
over a little more, Jax. Put it more in the camera. Scoot over a little more. There you go. Put it more in the camera. There we go. Stop. You good. Good.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone.
Hey, congratulations, my young sister. I'm proud of you. You're doing the work, and that's what it's about. It's about you as the young folks taking responsibility and accountability for yourself to move this needle forward, to move this nation forward, because we need people like yourself. So again, congratulations.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
And what did you get your degree in?
Biomedical sciences.
Ooh.
Master's degree. And she's only 21. So the next degree we're about to get, we're going to work on is what?
Doctorate.
Doctorate. Yeah, she wants to be a medical doctor. So the next graduation will be a white coat. So we are super excited. This is my baby. This is my baby. So thank you. So anyway, we're going to handle some business. But yeah, so my closing words for today, I'm going to hit you guys with another quick scripture. And it is right here. Let's hit it. Let's go to Proverbs 4, right? And so it says, Proverbs 4. Okay, Proverbs 4:5. Get wisdom, get understanding. Forget it not, neither decline thy words from thy mouth. Forsake her not. Oh, dang. You know what? I didn't grab my phone and I'm on the wrong scripture, but I guess it's what I'm supposed to read. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Exalt her, and she shall promote thee. She shall bring thee to honor when thou dost embrace her. She shall give to thine a head ornament of grace, a crown of glory. She shall deliver to thee. So yes, we all got to get wisdom, y'all. I love you guys. Until tomorrow, thanks to everyone for tuning in. I appreciate you. It's so glad to see you all once again. And we're going to have a fantastic week ahead of us. Love you guys. Peace out.
Let me just
Brother
say, I'll piggyback off of what Sister Jack said, you know, about wisdom and understanding. And like I said, you seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave. And you can't get wisdom and understanding if you don't study. You have to study. You have to put in the work. That's how over time you get wiser, but you also over time understand, because sometimes you understand by reading, and then sometimes you understand by inference, meaning that through going through life, living life, and the experiences through life, you get a better understanding of certain things. So why do we as older people grasp some type of social studies and certain other sciences as we get older? Because we're not in a book setting, we're in a different kind of mindset. And like Sister Jack said, our brain is not developed when we are very young. And when I mean young, so even in our adolescent and teenage years, our brain is still not fully developed. So we have to continue to study. I see things now that I didn't understand before. So that's one thing. You got to exercise your brain cells, and you got to stop doing things that kills your brain cells. You got to stop smoking. You got to stop smoking weed. You got to stop drinking and killing all these cells, these good cells in your body. You destroy your liver, you destroy your kidneys, and these are the organs that you need to move around. Like I said, we just getting rid of nonsense moving forward. We're just trying not to deal with so much nonsense. And since Joe said that we'll be at Essence, me and Joe, we will be going to the forum that Donald Trump will be speaking. No, I don't think Donald Trump is not showing up to another Black event. Okay, well, I thought we was going to interview Donald Trump, but he's not going to show up because it's a Black event, and he's not. That was my words.
My brother. Listen, family, simply be better today than you were yesterday. Do something today to be a blessing to somebody somewhere where there's no earthly way that they can pay you back, even if they had it to give to you. Let's be more kind. Let's be more loving. Let's be more forgiving. Let's be more human, regardless the color of your melanin. Especially be kind to those who look like you. With that being said, always remember that there is no secret what God can do. What he has done for others, he will and he can do for you. For when God is with you, nothing or no one can stand against you. It is Make It Happen Monday. We'll be back tomorrow for Tell the Truth Tuesday. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You've been listening to hashtag Truth Be Told with yours truly, Joe Dupree, Sister Jax, and Brother Fatim. And we up out of here. Hey.